Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. This is going to be a very special video. It's an artist spotlight on an artist that I really, really love. I have a huge collection from this one particular artist from the Golden Age. It is Alex Schomburg. And I actually made some notes, just some quick notes about Alex Schomburg and a little bit of his history. I guess he's Puerto Rican and he was born in Puerto Rico. In 1905. So he's, that's a long time ago. And he lived up till 1998. He actually was, not just like one of the best Puerto Rican artists of all time in comics, but he's actually one of these artists that has been well recognized for his talents. He actually won the Will Eisner Hall of Fame, for his artwork. So quite an impressive artist. Actually, it's cool. There's a quote from Stan Lee, and I'll read it. Alex Schomburg was to comic books what Norman Rockwell was to the Saturday Evening Post. So kind of high praises from Stan Lee. And Alex Schomburg, actually, he started his career in pulps. So I actually brought a pulp that he did. This is not his first pulp. His first pulp was Startling Stories from September of 1939. So if you can find Startling Stories from September of 1939, he did the cover work for that. That was his very first cover art. But he did this one as well. This is from 1941. And it features Alex Schomburg's artwork inside. I believe this is also his artwork on the cover, but I'm not 100% sure because it doesn't say, but I believe it is. So he really got involved with pulps originally. And he did some pulps for Timely. I think one of the ones that he did was Gaiety. And Timely basically got him into doing comics. Okay, so Timely is what we now call Marvel. So he was doing like all was it All Select or a lot of these early like Marvel mystery comics and all these kind of things. His very first comics were Daring Mystery Comics #1 and Marvel Mystery Comics #3. Those were the two first ones. They came out at the same time in January of 1940. So Alex Schomburg was, pretty early on in the whole Timely Marvel era. And the interesting thing about that era, and I don't have much from that early Second World War era, was that Alex Schomburg, he basically did a lot of sort of war propaganda covers. And I'll give you a great example of that. I just happen to have one. This is actually his last war propaganda cover. And it's Young Allies #16. So you can see, like, what I kind of appreciate about Alex Schomburg's stuff is that it's got so much action, so much crazy action. You can see just looking at this cover, and this is obviously a propaganda one. So it's, we'd probably say, oh my goodness, it's so racist, right? It's like the Japanese are getting like obliterated here. But it was done specifically for that because, the U.S. was at war with Japan and they really wanted to show the Japanese in the worst light. So this is Young Allies #16. And, Alex Schomburg, he did some really great Nazi-related covers too. Like if you, I think it's like Captain America, like 56, I think, is a really great cover. It's like with this Hitler with a huge head and like woman in bondage and like just so much action going on. And, one of the things is Alex Schomburg was really great at capturing lots of action. There's just so much activity. Like you can just sort of stare at his covers and just there's so much to them. One of the most expensive non-superhero related comics is Suspense Comics number 3, I believe, and that is his, the one where it's like a woman being sacrificed by, it looks like the Ku Klux Klan, and then you have like the hero in the background, far in the background, with a spear basically, and he's like got no hope to go up against all these Nazis, but Nazi Ku Klux Klan people. It's just such a messed up cover, but it's great. It's like these kind of amazing covers that Alex Schomburg is known for. So his first period was the Pulps, and he did like these startling stories. And then he moved into doing the superhero stuff with Captain America. He also did, what's his name? Green Hornet, and a few other of the well-known ones, like Submariner as well, for Timely. And some of the other ones that he did are for Timely. I do have one or two. Is Miss Fury. This is from 1942. And this is Miss Fury's first appearance in comics, and you can just see the action that that I was kind of saying that was kind of the trademark for a lot of these early Schomburg art. So what happened was, after Young Allies 16, Schomburg actually moved out of doing a lot of these kind of covers, and he moved into more like good girl art. So what I kind of think of as Alex Schomburg's stuff that I enjoy the most is the good girl art, and I'm going to just show you a ton of stuff. So first, I wanted to show you one that's kind of similar to the most famous one of his, and this is a pretty pricey book. This is a Fighting Yank number 23, and it's just, it's got the hooded figures. This is sort of a trademark of Alex Schomburg, I would say. The woman in the red dress and the hero in the background looking like he could probably not save the woman in any particular way. And it's just a, great cover, like you can see. Even in this grade, it's really quite a pricey book. I paid way too much for this. It's just a great book, though. And I'll show you another one where it's the guy in the background, and this is another Alex Schomburg, Fighting Yank number 21. Actually, 21, 22, and 23 are some of my favorite Fighting Yank covers. I actually still need 22, but I didn't get it yet. But Alex Schomburg also created one of my favorite characters from the Golden Age. He basically was the one that did the art for her. This is Miss Mask. So, really great Golden Age character. And this is her original first cover. Her first appearance is, let me see if I can pull it up really quickly. I have a ton of stuff to show. This is her first appearance, is in Exciting Comics number 51. And this is the Black Terror, another Alex Schomburg character that he's well known for. He actually didn't create the Black Terror. I believe it was a different artist, but he was, Alex Schomburg did a lot of the Black Terror covers, and he also did a lot of these Exciting Comics covers. So I'm going to show you some more Alex Schomburg Exciting Comics covers. So we got this one, it's really nice. So this is the kind of airbrush style that Alex Schomburg is really, really known for. And, just the good girl art covers. Okay, so I'm just going to show you a couple more. And then he also did another series called Thrilling Comics. And this is Princess Panther cover. Just a really great airbrush cover. You can see. And as I said, when he kind of switched to doing these kind of good girl art covers, cheesecake, they're also known as, it really toned down the action and focused more on the woman. So, but still brilliant. I really do love his good girl art covers. And I'll show you a ton more. I got a ton here. So here's some more Thrilling. Just a really great again, cheesecake cover. And then we got, this is Princess Pantha's first cover appearance. It's really low grade, my copy of it. I just couldn't find a high grade. But yeah, Thrilling Comics 58. These are from the late 40s. So these would be like late 40s, early 50s. So, and then we got Thrilling Comics. This is another low grade one. It's really hard to get a lot of these in high grade. Really expensive too, actually. And then we got another series that he did, which was Captain Easy. You can just see the good girl art style. And when he also did a series of covers for America's Best Comics. And this is with Miss Mask as well. And you can see the different style of clothing that he did. He really accentuated her features in this series. And then we got more exciting comics. See, you can he maintained a lot of the action elements, even in these good girl art covers. But you can see that the woman is the focus, definitely the focus, of the piece. And then another series that he did all the covers for, I just happen to have a few, is Wonder Comics. So I'll show you some of the Wonder Comics. It's really great bondage, good girl art cover. Then we got some more Wonder Comics. This is number 18. And this was the last issue of the series, number 20. Again, you see the woman in danger, woman in peril in the foreground, and usually the villain is behind the woman. That's another kind of thing about his. And then further behind is the hero coming in to rescue her. So always looks like it's almost too late by the time the hero gets there, kind of idea. I sort of noticed that with his style. And here's another one. This is my favorite Alex Schomburg cover. Wonder Comics. Number 15. And it's just a really great good girl bondage cover. The cool thing about Alex Schomburg is, actually I'll show it on this one maybe, is sometimes he would write his name as Zila. That was kind of one of his aliases for when he was doing the covers. And it's like Xela, which is just Alex backwards. So he would do that as well. And this is another cover. This is actually where Princess Pantha makes her first appearance. This is, not a great cover, but, just another Thrilling Comics cover. That's Thrilling Comics 56. And I'll just show some more, and then and then I'll give a little bit more of a wrap-up of his life. So Captain Easy, another great cover. Again, you'll notice that the girl is kind of the prominent feature, and then the hero in the background. It's kind of a style of his. And then we got another America's Best. This is a really great cover with Miss Mask in the foreground. And another, this is the first Miss Mask in the series for America's Best Comics. Again, these have a lot of the characters that Alex Schomburg is really well known for after his Marvel age. So this is like, you got Fighting Yank and Black Terror, and then Miss Mask. So really great cover. Another thing I kind of want to say is, so what happened was, after he did a lot of these cheesecake and like good girl art covers, his career kind of stalled in a way. Not stalled, but I shouldn't say that. It's not really true. What happened was the Comic Code Authority came in play, and he was kind of forced to change his career, basically, from doing comics and going back into pulps. So in the 50s, once the Comic Code Authority kind of came into play, he went back into doing pulps, and he did a lot of sci-fi pulps. That was his big bread bread winners for him. So he basically went into doing pulps, and it wasn't until 1977. So, all this time had passed, like almost like 30 years had passed from when he worked at Timely and Marvel to when he came back to working at Timely Marvel. And he only did one comic, and that was Invader Annual #1 from 1977. So he basically had sort of left the whole comic thing to do this, and he came back to do that one Invaders Annual #1. So the cool thing was, that comic, the Invaders Annual #1, also features a lot of other Golden Age artists. So it's actually kind of cool, not just for him, but for other artists. So I would say that's sort of one of these under the radar keys. I actually, just before recording this video, I ended up picking up a copy of that comic, just because I think it's a highly underrated comic, and I think it kind of gives me that bookend to my Alex Schomburg collection, where I have, I'm trying to get his first artwork, and I'm trying to get his very end artwork, the last thing that he published in 1977. So that has been my summary of Alex Schomburg. I hope you enjoyed it. I tried to show a lot of stuff from Alex Schomburg. Probably one of his most famous covers is his Bender cover, from Startling Comics. I forget what issue it is, but it's the one where the robot is holding the woman, and he's kind of carrying her off. He did a lot of, like, if you look at a lot of his stuff, he always has that kind of love for sci-fi. You can sense that with some of the stuff that he did with his robot covers, and some of his covers where it's like, has that sci-fi feeling. And that's probably why he went back into doing pulps for sci-fi. So I think just a really great artist, maybe one that has been, forgotten over time, and maybe should be appreciated a bit. A lot of the Golden Age collectors obviously will know Alex Schomburg. He's one of those artists that people will go out and try to find his artwork, especially the Good Girl art, and especially any of the stuff that he did while he was working at Timely is very expensive and highly sought after. Any of the Nazi or war-related artwork is definitely some of his most sought after artwork. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, thanks for watching, and I'm going to be doing more spotlights in the future of different artists that I enjoy. So please check those out when I do them. I did one previously on Al Felstein. Maybe I'll link that in the end credits, so you can see that as well. And thanks again for watching. Bye for now.